Erwin Johannes Eugen Rommel, born on November 15, 1891, in Heidenheim, Germany, would become one of the most enigmatic and respected military leaders of World War II. Known as the Desert Fox for his cunning tactics and strategic brilliance in the North African campaign, Rommel's story is one of relentless ambition, epic battles, and a complicated legacy. Rommel's military career began in World War I, where he quickly distinguished himself as a fearless and innovative officer. His bravery and tactical acumen earned him the Iron Cross, and his exploits became legendary within the ranks of the German army. However, it was his actions during the Second World War that would cement his place in history. In 1940, Rommel was given command of the 7th Panzer Division during the invasion of France. His audacious and swift maneuvers earned his division the nickname Ghost Division, as they moved so quickly that even German high command often lost track of their position. His success in France caught the attention of Adolf Hitler, who soon appointed him to lead the Afrika Korps in North Africa. In February 1941, Rommel arrived in North Africa, where he found himself facing the British 8th Army. The arid deserts and treacherous terrain of Libya and Egypt became the stage for a brutal and suspenseful campaign. Rommel's initial attacks were swift and devastating, pushing the British forces back and capturing strategic locations. The Battle of Gazala in May 1942 was a key engagement. Rommel, using his trademark combination of speed and deception, managed to outflank the British defences. The British, led by General Neil Ritchie, had constructed a formidable line of fortifications, but Rommel's unorthodox tactics and relentless pressure caused them to falter. The capture of Tobruk in June 1942 was a significant victory, boosting German morale and earning Rommel his field marshal's baton. The capture of Tobruk marked a high point in Rommel's North African campaign. The fortress had been a thorn in the side of the Axis forces, and its fall was a severe blow to the Allies. However, holding Tobruk would prove to be a daunting task. The British, determined to reclaim the strategic port, launched a series of counter-offensives. Rommel, understanding the importance of Tobruk, fortified his positions and prepared for the inevitable assaults. Supplies were scarce, and the harsh desert environment took its toll on both men and machines. Despite these challenges, Rommel's leadership kept his troops motivated and ready for the next confrontation. The turning point in the North African campaign came at the Second Battle of El Alamein in October 1942. British General Bernard Montgomery, known for his methodical and disciplined approach, was determined to halt Rommel's advance and push the Afrika Korps out of Egypt. The battle was a brutal clash of wills, with Montgomery's forces vastly outnumbering Rommel's. Despite being ill and facing overwhelming odds, Rommel orchestrated a tenacious defense. For 12 days, the desert erupted in a maelstrom of artillery fire, tank battles, and infantry assaults. Rommel's tactical genius was on full display, but the relentless pressure from Montgomery's forces and the dwindling supplies took their toll. Realizing that the situation was untenable, Rommel made the difficult decision to retreat. The battle marked the beginning of the end for the Axis presence in North Africa. Despite the defeat, Rommel's reputation as a master tactician remained intact. In 1943, with the tide of the war turning against Germany, Rommel was reassigned to oversee the defenses of the Atlantic Wall in Western Europe. The massive fortification project was intended to repel the anticipated Allied invasion. Rommel, ever the meticulous planner, inspected the defenses personally and ordered improvements, understanding that the coming battle would be decisive. Despite his efforts, Rommel harbored doubts about the effectiveness of the Atlantic Wall. He believed that the best way to defeat the Allies was to confront them on the beaches before they could establish a foothold. However, his suggestions were often overruled by higher command, leading to growing frustration. On June 6, 1944, the Allies launched Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in history, landing on the beaches of Normandy. Rommel was away in Germany, having taken leave to celebrate his wife's birthday when the invasion began. By the time he returned, the Allies had already secured several beachheads. Rommel rushed to coordinate the German response, but the situation was dire. The Allies had achieved air superiority, and their relentless bombardments and ground assaults were overwhelming German defenses. Despite Rommel's efforts to rally his troops and organize counterattacks, the German forces were pushed back. The battle for Normandy was brutal and unrelenting. Rommel's strategic acumen was hampered by the lack of resources and the constant interference from higher command. His repeated requests for reinforcements and permission to withdraw to more defensible positions were ignored. As the war dragged on and Germany's defeat became inevitable, Rommel's disillusionment with Hitler's leadership grew. He became involved, albeit indirectly, with a group of officers planning to assassinate Hitler and negotiate a peace with the Allies. The conspiracy, known as Operation Valkyrie, culminated in a failed attempt to kill Hitler on July 20th, 1944. When the plot failed, the Gestapo quickly rounded up the conspirators, and Rommel's name surfaced during the interrogations. Rommel's involvement in the plot was indirect, but his previous criticisms of Hitler and his leadership made him a prime suspect. On October 14, 1944, two generals arrived at Rommel's home. They presented him with a grim choice: commit suicide to protect his family and retain his honor, or face a humiliating trial that would result in certain execution and reprisals against his loved ones. Rommel, realizing the inevitable, chose to protect his family. He bade a sorrowful farewell to his wife and son, then accompanied the generals to a waiting car. There he took a cyanide pill, ending his life. Erwin Rommel's life and career remain a complex tapestry of valor, strategy, and moral ambiguity. His military prowess earned him the respect of both allies and enemies. His tactics in North Africa became textbook examples of maneuver warfare, studied by military academies worldwide. However, his legacy is not without controversy. While he opposed Hitler and sought to end the war, his early support of the Nazi regime and participation in their campaigns cannot be overlooked. The enigma of Rommel lies in his duality as both a brilliant commander and a man caught in the moral quagmire of a brutal dictatorship. The story of Erwin Rommel is one of suspense, heroism, and tragedy. From the deserts of North Africa to the beaches of Normandy, his strategic genius and the dramatic turns of his career provide an enduring lesson in the complexities of war, leadership, and the human spirit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe to receive notification when we drop new content.